There we go. All right, all right. Welcome everybody to another Sabbath class. Happy Sabbath day, each and every one of you all. You know what I'm saying? Right here on Isbc, Truth, Illuminati Radio, with your host, Pastor Michael Smith, and co-host, Sister Smith. If you are new to this page, hit that follow button. Turn on your notification bells as well. Hit that like button too. And let's go ahead and pray in. Our Father, which art in heaven. Oh, wait a minute. Sister Smith got to put on her rag.
I'm going to take that job of reminding her every day. My job. It's going to be my job. It's going to be my sis. When I call her first, I will tell her.
Okay. Our Father,
Okay.
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those that trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, everybody mute your phones and we'll go ahead and get started. Sister Smith?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. We're gonna read an article, and the article is about
Deon Sanders.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Deon Sanders. They are taking them out like flies. In these days and times, you must know what side you're on. Ahia is his name. His name is not Jehovah. His name is not Yahweh. His name is not Yeshua. His name is Yahweh. His name is Ahia. Got me to Satan is something else. Got me saying that. His name is Ahia, not Yahweh. Yahweh is that golden calf that Moses, that Aaron and the Israelites was ignorantly building and worshiping. That's an Egyptian god. Our God, the God of the Hebrews, his name is Ahia. So, let's go ahead and hear about Deon Sanders. He's hospitalized, you know. Go ahead.
Prayers are pouring in for Deon Sanders amid life-changing health situation.
Prayers of you notice when these wicked individuals end up, you know what I'm saying, on their deathbed after spending all of their life not even trying to seek the truth, not even trying to spread the truth. When they get on their deathbed, the first thing that they are hollering is, we need your prayers. Prayers are pouring in. How can somebody who don't know who Ahia is pray for your safe recovery if they don't know who Ahia is? If they don't know who God is, how can they pray for your safe recovery? You must seek counsel, people, if you don't know who your God is. You cannot say, oh, I'll pray for you, because then who you praying to? Who are you praying to? You got to know who you're praying to. You got to know what God you're praying to. You know what I'm saying? What are these people praying for Deon Sanders? Or are they praying to Yahweh? Are they praying to Jehovah? Because if they're praying to Yahweh or Jehovah or any of these other deities, these deities is this main deity that is responsible for Deon Sanders going through what he's going through. The same way Christ said this when the Pharisees said that Christ cast out demons as the chief of demons. So they was calling Christ a demon. And Christ said, if I be a chief of demons and I'm casting out a demon, how can Satan's kingdom stand? Anyway, go ahead.
As Deon Sanders prepared for his first year as head coach of Colorado, he's stimulously dealing with a serious health issue.
Here's another one. We heard this one before, didn't we, Sister Smith? Yeah. Jamie Foxx.
Right.
Go ahead.
In a recent Instagram post, Sanders shared a video from a recent visit.
Now check this out. Deon Sanders is suffering a serious health issue. Jamie Foxx is suffering a health issue. Deon Sanders at least posted his image or told you what he's going through. Where's Jamie at? Go ahead.
With his doctor, where he revealed that he's dealing with a serious foot issue. During the video, Sanders said that he no longer has any feeling on the bottom of the foot where he previously had 2 toes amputated.
There you go. That represents the end of something. What is it the end of, Deon Sanders? Oh, I see. It's the end of whatever you was in, and it's the beginning of your Colorado career. This is how these things work. Go ahead.
At one point in the video, one of his doctors pointed out that there is a chance that he could lose another toe or even the entire foot if he doesn't get the right level of treatment. As you know, I've faced some medical challenges with my foot, but I never said, why me? I keep moving forward.
Of course you keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Little Bootsy kept it moving after he sacrificed his knee, 3 shots to the knee. So-called he went to Texas and got shot up, and they aimed straight at his knee, and all of a sudden he recovered from that. He sacrificed his knee. You got Deon Sanders sacrificed his foot. These are different sacrifices. When you're in Babylon, when you're in this world, this Egypt, spiritual Egypt, you have to do these things, and your mark is the mark of Satan. Yes. Well, as soon as you sign that contract, soon as you know what I'm saying, participate in these you don't even have to sign the contract. You can just take the mark just by participating in these satanic rituals. What's a ritual? Easter. It's a ritual. You cannot attack. If you be in the temple of the Most High God, you cannot attach your body to a pagan festival or deity. Because then the Most High Spirit will leave, and then you will be all the way satanic. Deon Sanders, I showed Sister Smith an old music video that Deon Sanders made when he first made a song talking about must be the money. you seen that, right, Sister Smith?
Yes, I did.
Letting you, Deon Sanders letting you know what he sold his soul for. He's getting the fame. He was getting the money. He made a song about must be the money. No, it's not the money. The money is nothing. Money is nothing, people. Money is nothing. Money is just a defense. You work just to pay the services that Caesar have offered you. I give an example. If you are a mailman, that's Caesar's job. You're working, you're getting employed at Caesar's job. Caesar pays you with his money. And then you got to pay your Caesar light bill with Caesar's money that he paid you with. You got to pay your Caesar's card note with Caesar's money that he paid. Everything is Caesar's here. That's why Christ says, render unto Caesar's what's Caesar's, and unto the Lord's what's the Lord's. You belong to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And as you build yourself in this word, and you build yourself in the spirit, and you keep the commandments, guess what? Money will definitely be a defense. And you will find yourself, you know what I'm saying, not in need of anything, because your mind is not on that very thing that Babylon is pushing. Kind of like salt and pepper. Go ahead.
See, you never know what a person may be going through while I sit in your seat of judgment, but you can trust and believe that we are all going through something. Just keep the faith and know that if he brought you to it, he will bring you through it.
See, they say these little cliche church cliche things. He brought you to it so he brought you through it so he's gonna bring you to it. Who? Deon Sanders, who? Who? And who are you talking about? Are you talking about Jehovah? Who are you talking about? Who brought you through it? Is that contract that you signed. You know what I'm saying? Let us know who brought you through it. Whose contract did you sign? Whose contract did you sign? You can go ahead and get out of that. I need you to go to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Whose contract that you signed? Deon Sanders, please tell me. Whose contract? We're gonna see whose contract that Deon Sanders signed. Because I'm gonna tell you the God that Deon Sanders is talking about. And to all of you people who prayed for Deon Sanders, I'm gonna show you what God he served and what God he's talking about. What God who brought him through it, that he can be brought to it. Go to the book of Revelation 2 verse 9, Sister Smith.
2 verse 9, okay.
Revelation 2 verse 9. He brought you through it so he can bring you to it. Deon Sanders, you need to stop it. Go ahead.
I know thy works.
I know thy works.
And tribulations.
And tribulations.
And poverty.
And poverty. We are poor. We are the ones that's going through tribulations. That's talking about you, black man, Haitian man, Jamaican man, Puerto Rican man, Dominican man. Let's talk about you. Go ahead.
But thou art rich.
You are rich. You have the spirit. They need you. Do you understand? To all of you up and coming basketball players, they need you because your spirit is rich. You see? To all you up and coming football players, they need you because your spirit is rich. To all of you rappers who want to be a rapper, they need you because your spirit is rich. They need you. That's why every other nation coming to America to benefit off of you, because your spirit is rich. But you don't have to take the bag. You don't have to sign that oath. You don't have to sign them contracts. Because once you do it, there is no return. There is no return. That's what you must understand. Once you sign it, I don't care if you was an old 1983 football player. The contract still is void. This contract still is intact to this day. Just look at Craig Mack. Way after Craig Mack's career went kaput, when he reached the age of 47, he thought that he was made it out. They went and got him. But thou art rich, go ahead.
I know the blasphemy of them which say they are James.
See, I know the so it's blasphemy for you to call yourself what you're not. If you are an unmelanated Caucasian and you call yourself you know who, and you're not, then who are the real ones? Who are we? So you're calling us a Gentile, and you calling yourself the chosen children of the Most High. That's blasphemy. Go ahead.
And are not.
And are not.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the synagogue of Satan. There you go. That is who Deon Sanders, he said that he brought you through it, so he's going to bring you to it. Because who is the company that he originally signed with? The synagogue of Satan. Who is the company of was it Cleveland something or Colorado?
Colorado.
Best believe that is another synagogue of Satan. So you cannot, you know what I'm saying, get encouraged by somebody who is working who passed their soul through the fire to Moloch to serve the synagogue of Satan. Yeah, Deon Sanders, your foot's messed up. It's not by accident your foot is messed up, Deon Sanders. It's on purpose. The same way, what's his name? Fetty Wap done gagged out one of his eyes is the same way you just knocking off one of your toes. You know what I'm saying? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch your Deon Sanders by the toe. If I can sacrifice all of my toes, that's what Deon Sanders wants. Deon Sanders sacrificing his toes. The same way Megan Thee Stallion sacrificed her foot. Make no sense. Let's go to our regular scheduled scripture reading, Sister Matt.
Okay, we're going into the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4.
Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto him.
And the Lord, Ahia, said unto him.
Go through the midst of the city.
Go through the midst of the city.
Through the midst of Jerusalem.
Through the midst of Jerusalem.
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the man that signed and that cried for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
You know who the men that are sighing and crying? Every Hebrew man and woman who cannot stand what is going on in the world. Who cannot stand these elites putting people like Kodak Black, putting people like Deon Sanders, putting people like these celebrities to influence you into nonsense. We are sighing and crying. We are talking about it because that is what we are to do. Put a mark on them that sigh and cry. It's the same mark that we had in the Passover when we had to put the blood of the lamb on our doorposts. It's the same mark. It's the mark of Christ. It's the mark where when the destroyer comes, we will be saved. So to all of you, you know what I'm saying, thinking that you want to be all you can be in Satan's satanic system. You want to be a celebrity. You want to go viral. You want to, you know what I'm saying, I'm a TikTok star. I'm going to twist my butt. You want to do all of that. And what you're doing is you are putting a mark on yourself. How you putting a mark on yourself? Let me tell you something. The elites is looking at every last one of you all who is posting images and videos on social media. And they already got your information because you signed up with the social media sites. So they got your date of birth. They got your name. They got your age. They got everything they need. And then if you fit the qualifications according to your date of birth, if you fit the qualifications, then all of a sudden you do something like slip on a banana peel in McDonald's and all of a sudden that goes viral. It's not because you slipped on a banana peel in McDonald's. It's because they cause you to be a viral sensation just so that you can influence others because they seen your track record. They know where your mind at. They know that you ain't about nothing because they see what you're doing. They see that you're twerking on social media. They see that you're just doing dumb stuff on social media. So they see where your mind at. So they know that you can possibly be a good influencer when you go viral. So that's what they do. So when they make you go viral, now you have gave up your name and you became a number. And guess what? It's just a matter of time before they say, TikToker, famous TikToker, commit suicide. That's how it works. You setting yourself up for the gusto when you're doing these things. You should not be a request to go for you because you are signing your own death certificate. And don't think that you can win after you done receive Caesar's services, after you receive Caesar's fame. Don't think that you're going to win when they knocking at your door because you done received it. What did Christ say? Render unto Caesar's what's Caesar's. You have received Caesar's goods. You have received Caesar's goods and fame. You have received it. So when they come knocking at your door and you say no, then you end up like a lot of people. You end up like most deaf. Most deaf was trapped in Nigeria, was trapped in Africa, could not come back to the United States. They had to put out petitions to get him out of Africa. You end up like that. You end up like ASAP Rocky, who so-called was fighting in the streets over some headphones. Then when he comes out of the Sweden jail, he gets with Rihanna and he turned into a cross-dresser. These things, this is what happens. Go ahead.
Okay, we're still in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 14 and 16.
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 14 and 15. Go ahead.
Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was towards the north.
Which was towards the north. This is your pastors. This is who Deon saying is talking about. He brought you to it, so he'll bring it to it. Listen, these churches today is teaching you paganism and false God worship. This is who you're worshiping when you're in these churches. Go ahead.
And behold, there sat woman weeping for Tammuz.
They said women weeping for Jesus. That's what it was. There said women weeping for Jesus. Do you know who your modern day Jesus is when you in these churches weeping for Jesus? Do you know what you're doing spiritually? You are spiritually weeping and crying and bending your knee to Tammuz, which is spiritual Nimrod, which is Semiramis' son/husband. This is who you are dealing with when you're in these churches, when you're crying for Jesus, because his name is not Jesus, his name is Yeshua. His name is Yeshua. His name is not Jesus. So when you're in these churches, oh, Jesus, oh, love you, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Listen. It was all good when you didn't know. When you didn't know. Because a lot of us, before we came into the truth, was calling on Jesus because we didn't know. But once you understand and once you know, guess what? You got to change. You got to now understand who your Messiah is, and that is who you are to follow. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house.
Into the inner court of the Lord's house.
And behold, at the door of the temple.
And behold, at the door of the temple.
Of the Lord.
Of the Lord.
Between the porch and the altar.
Between the porch and the altar.
Were about 25 men.
About 25 men.
With their backs towards the temple of the Lord.
So the women is worshiping Jesus. The women is worshiping Jesus, which is spiritual Tammuz. And so the women is more for the Christian church. The women is more for going into the Christian churches and, you know what I'm saying, putting their money in the collection. This is what the women, this is why the women, you know what I'm saying, get ran over, because they are messing with a lesser deity, a lesser God. This so-called God can't help you. Semiramis can't help you. Nimrod can't help you. They can't help you. So that's why you're vulnerable. That's why you find yourself always in distress, black women. So the women is in the church. And where's the men at? Go ahead.
And their faces toward the east. And they worship the sun towards the east.
So they are worshiping Allah. So the men is in Islam. And the women is in the church. I know a lot of people say, how can you say the sun is Islam? Let me tell you something. If you know the history of that damn rock over there, matter of fact, it was 2 rocks. See, you got to know your history before you go and try to pray to a rock. It used to be 2 rocks. 2. It used to be 2 Kaaba stones. Yes, it did. And before the Arabs had it, your unmelanated Caucasians had it. Understand, Islam is a newly formed religion. The same way Christianity is a newly formed religion. But ask yourself, what was it before it was Islam? No, matter of fact, I'm sorry, let me take that back. It wasn't the unmelanated Caucasians that had the rock. Before the Arabs. It was Persia, the East Indians. It was the Persians. The Persians had that rock before it was Islam. But what was it? So what is it really? Is it really Allah? No. It is Semiramis. It is Semiramis. So the women is in the church spiritually worshiping Tammuz, which is Nimrod, and the men is ignorantly worshiping Semiramis. Ain't that something? And they don't even know it. They don't even know it. Go ahead.
Okay, we're going into the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 21.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 21. Go ahead.
They have moved me to jealousy.
You see, this is what you have done to the Most High. Ahaya. This is what you have done. This is what you have done to Ahaya. By you know what I'm saying, eating the booty like groceries. This is what you have done. This is what you have done to Ahaya. By having multiple wives, you know what I'm saying, or dealing unwisely with marriage. Thinking that marriage is a joke. This is what you have done to Ahaya. You want to know what you have done to Ahaya? Let's go ahead and hear what you have done to Ahaya and what Ahaya is going to do to you, being that you have done this to Ahaya. Go ahead.
With that which is not God.
See? That rock ain't no God. You know what I'm saying? That them Christian churches has nothing in there has Ahaya's name on it. Go ahead.
They have provoked me to anger with their vanity.
With their vanities. Mm-hmm.
And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
With those which are not a people. All these other nations are not people. They are supposed to be your slaves. They are not a people. That's why you are jealous now. You are jealous to see them prospering in your community. Bodegas in your communities, the Arabs got. They prospering in your community. You jealous. You black women is jealous because the white woman got better, well not better, but long hair, and you guys have to go and get all sorts of chemicals to put in your hair to try to make your hair grow. You get jealous when you see a white woman comb roll her hair. Oh, she trying to be black. The Most High God said he will move you to jealousy. You're jealous because the Most High God moved you to jealousy. Go ahead.
I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
With a foolish nation. All of these other nations are foolish. It is foolish